Hello, and welcome to Kids in Canvas Online with Miss Carrie. Today we're going to be making this reindeer painting. You can make the scarf any color you like, and you can also make the background color any color you like. You can choose to make it more festive with the lights, or you can choose to leave the lights off if you'd like. Those are something we're going to add very last. You could also choose to have a red nose like Rudolph for your reindeer, or a black nose like I have. Let's get started. So today you're going to need two different color browns. If you only have one color brown, then you're going to need some white as well to make it a little bit lighter. I'm choosing red and green for my scarf, and I have black for my black nose, as well as the lights that are gonna go on the antlers. I have two different color blues for my background. You're also going to need a pencil. Obviously, we have to draw on there. And then I'm using the two smaller brushes, the medium wide brush and the straight brush. So let's get started by drawing. So the first thing that you notice about the reindeer is that it has an oval nose, and then it's got a circle off center to that oval nose. And then the reindeer itself is actually a bit of a pear shape. Or maybe, yeah, pear shape. Pear shape. Looks like it has an avocado pit. Alright, now we have some ears that are just little almonds up top there. We're not going to worry about the eyes, but if you want to put little circles for the eyes, you can. We won't worry about that too much. Alright, the scarf. We're going to make a rainbow shape right there, and again on the other side, and then maybe we have the scarf trail off over there. Perfect. Now we're going to work on the antlers. So you can make your antlers as wide or big as you'd like. You can make them any shape you want. And they do not have to look the same. There we have it. Alright, let's get started painting. We're going to start with the background color. So I'm going to start with my lighter blue, and I'm going to paint anywhere that the background color is going to be. And today I'm using a 8x10 canvas. I'm actually reusing a canvas, so you might be able to see some shapes behind it. I just repainted it white, just because I like to do that. So I'm going to paint it all the light blue color, and then I'm going to add some darker blue in there. And you're just going to want to follow your picture. And try not to get too much on your reindeer, but if it does, then as long as you let it dry before you paint your reindeer, it should be all right. Hard part will be getting around those antlers. And normally we paint the background twice just to help fill it in. And if you notice that your paint is a little dry, go ahead and dip your brush, the ends, into the water like so, and it will help loosen up that paint. Make it a little more spreadable. Now I'm going to start adding a little bit of a darker hue down here at the bottom. It should be dry enough if you keep it nice and smooth. It should be dry enough to start adding things at the bottom. Or re-going over your paint. Rinse my brush and go over the top one more time with my light blue. Just to fill it in just a little bit more. There we go. I like the look. I'm going to clean my brush and we're going to start working on the face. So I'm going to start with the lighter brown and we're going to go right around his nose here. Now again, if all you have is one color brown, you can add some white to your brown to make it a little bit lighter. And don't worry about the nose too much if you go over your lines. Rinsing and cleaning my brush off. Now we're going to get to that dark brown. Here we go. If your background is dry, get right up next to that background. We'll make a nice smooth line all the way around. And the same goes for that nose or mouth area. Get right up next to it. Just like so. There we go. Now we're going to take the light brown. I'm going to take the light brown first, and we're going to paint the ears light brown. So try to follow that almond shape, even if your background went a little bit over your ears. Just like so. Alright, if your background is dry, we're going to start working on the antlers. And I'm going to be using my brush, not the regular flat way, but just on its edge. So I'm going to start with the light color. And just using its edge. You can use the smaller brush if you'd like, but there is a lot of space up here to cover, so I'm going to use the bigger brush for this one. I'm going to go around and fill in all of the antlers. There's one antler. Now let's do the other side. So now your face should be dry enough to do one more coat of light brown around the nose and mouth area. Nice and smooth. Just like so. And we're going to let those antlers and ears dry before we go over those. So the next thing we're going to do is maybe go over one more time with the dark brown around the face. Just to fill it in a little bit more. All right, there we have it. All right, let's work on the scarf. I'm going to turn sideways here so you can see all of the scarf. I'm going to make a striped pattern. You can choose to draw that on with your pencil if you want, or just alternate your colors. So I'm going to start with red. And again, I'm going to put on my paint nice and smooth right up against the background and right up against the face. And I'm just going to continue on with red since that's what's on my brush, so I don't have to wash my brush at all until I get done. And I'm just going to make some stripes. Alright, I'm going to rinse my brush. And dip it in my green. Now if you want, you can make your paint a little bit thicker on your scarf if you want to give it some texture, but I would wait to give it texture until you put on the first layer. So make your first layer nice and smooth. Make sure it meets the other color if you're doing two colors, and then give it texture once the first layer is dry. right, we're gonna let the scarf dry and we're gonna move back to the face and antlers. So we'll start with the antlers first. If they're not quite as covered as you'd like them, go ahead and grab some more light brown paint and get the spaces that you want to get. Give it a nice thin second coat. Alright, and do the same thing for the ears if you want to. Just like that. Now he's more filled in. Rinse your brush really nice. The next thing we're going to be doing is using black. I'm going to be using black for the nose and the eyes and the eyebrows. If you want to put red on the nose, you can do that now too. Remember, you don't need a ton of black on your paintbrush in order for black to work or cover everything up. You just need a little bit, and you kind of just want to follow it around very nice and smooth and let the brush do the work. Just like so. Just like that. Now I'm going to use the smaller brush. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water to my black paint and pull it out because I want this to go on really smooth. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to my black to make it nice and smooth so it doesn't go on real chunky. And I'm going to make 2 little circles just like so. And you can put little eyebrows on them, just like that. And if you want, you can add a little smile. Once those dry, you can add a little bit of white to your brush, and you can give him kind of a shine to his nose and a little bit of a shine or twinkle in his eyes, just like that. Alright, now I'm going to use my smaller brush with some darker brown, and I'm going to go around the edges of my ears. just like that. There's one ear. There's his other ear. All right. Now I'm going to add some texture down there at the bottom. And then the last thing we're going to do is add the Christmas lights to his antlers if you choose to. So I'm going to use my larger brush. I'm going to load it up with the paint that I want to use. And to add texture, you just kind of glop on your paint. It will dry a nice textured look. Like it's a nice woolly scarf. And you just kind of dab it around. You can do this for one color, two colors, more colors, however you want to do it. And then switch colors. Clean your brush really nice. I'll load up that paintbrush. And dab it on. Just like so. All right, let's add those lights to the top. So what you're going to want to do is use your smaller brush. This is something you do not have to add if you don't want to. And again, you're going to make your black nice and smooth, because you want it to go on nice and smooth. So add a little bit of water to it, just so it runs nice and smooth across your palette there. And now we're gonna make some loop-de-loops with our black. So you can curve it in and around and through. All the way around. Just like that. Now we're going to add little places for bulbs. So again, with the black, you're just going to make a little square or rectangle coming off of the string, just in different areas. This is going to make them feel a little festive. And you're going to want to make sure you do this when the antlers and your background are nice and dry. And you don't have to be real precise about what you're doing as far as how many you put on or anything like that. Now I'm going to use my red and green. You can choose to use whatever colors you want for your lights. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of water just to thin out my paint a little bit. And I'm going to try and do every other one. So you're just going to make a little oval attached to that. Oh, that's not every other one. That's okay. You can do them however you want. Just a little oval attached to the post that you made. Or you can make them really big if you wanted to. That would be okay too. There's my red. I'm going to do the green, and then we are done. Alright, time to add the green. And there we have it. And there he is in all his holiday glory. I would love to see how your reindeer turned out. So go ahead and email them to the email down here at the bottom, and I would love to show them off. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you again next month.